All right, I said I was going to be back, so just bear with me as we wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, because I know everybody wants to grab some coffee. So, Adrian, thank you. I think it's very clear where the three strategic beliefs come from. So, innovation, partnership, and sustainability come from who we are. So we truly believe and we stand for those things. But the reason why we believe in those things and the reason why we do it is actually just one, which is all of you. We do it to create value for our customers. Otherwise, there's no purpose, there's no meaning. So what I want to do is just wrap things up by showing our value creation approach. How do we create value for you? And obviously, it takes me back to where I started, which is that thing that unites us. So we create value based on data, based on managing your data so that you can create value out of it. What do we mean by value? Use cases. So the real value of data is in the use cases that it enables. Let me repeat that phrase, because it sounds like something I could post on the former network known as Twitter. The real value of data is in the use cases it enables. That's what we believe. That's how we work every day to create value. Because it needs to have a business purpose. And the business purpose is tied to an use case around a business process that you want to make more efficient and better, or to a business goal. Those are the two big things that we work hard every day to be able to create value around. So you need better data, as Adrian just said. And to create better data, you need to do those three things that Adrian mentioned. You need to be really good at acquiring data into your business, managing that data, and then distributing it, sharing it. Think of it as a data supply chain, right? So data coming in, you do your magic, you get it out. So let's see how this thing works, because that's the basis of our value creation. So the first step is there's data coming in from multiple sources, external, internal. Your ERP is generating data every second. Just by running your business, you're generating data every second. CRM, POS systems, procurement systems, your website, your e-commerce platform, just the list goes on, right? You're generating data every single second. And you generate different types of data, which we call domains. So they can be product data, customer data. You have to manage thousands of suppliers, location data, and other types of data that you need to bring in. And we want to make this as easy as possible for you. So we develop an integrated import manager to help you onboard data. And that's step one in value creation, which is bringing data in. But the next step in that value creation is actually managing the data. And in order to manage the data, you do need certain capabilities, and you need best-in-class capabilities. And we like to group those capabilities in three areas. One, consolidation. You need to aggregate data so it becomes easier to deal with it. Second area, cleanse. So how do you continuously enrich your data and maintain it so you ensure data quality? And the third area is governance. So what are the rules, what are the policies, what are the workflows that you need to create to manage your data properly, organize it, classify it? Managing data individually on those data points and data types already creates value. So as Adrian said, if you started with managing product data, great. That adds a lot of value because there's a lot of use cases associated with that. But we want to offer you the opportunity to go beyond. So if you start to govern those data types holistically and create intersects, that's where value increases. And you create those zones of insights by being able to mix and match customer data with product data, location data with supplier data, and you start to get your ROI multiplied and leverage. And that's what we believe, and that's what we want to create for you. And we do that with our multi-domain MDM solution, which sits at the core. This is the core of how we create value. You're probably thinking, is this a step? Yes, it is. That's probably how you refer to it, right? As a step. So that's our core, our multi-domain MDM. But we go beyond, and we think about use cases beyond the things that we see here. How do we do that? We actually create certain layers to help you expand your use cases, starting with a sustainability use case that Adrian talked about extensively, and we heard from Microsoft as well. So the way we look at this is, as you need to evidence your ESG performance, and you need to mitigate risk, so we talked about building trust, what you actually need is trusted sustainability data. And that's the key word, trusted sustainability data. That's what, with a layer on top of the core, we enable you to do. And we're going to show you that here on stage today. But as I know that you're super curious to see this, actually, we're showing it tomorrow, not today. And as I know that you're super curious to see it today, go to the Genius Bars area and talk to our teams there that they're going to be showing this today if you want to see it. The next layer is industry and industry solutions. Back to the use case conversation. Every company in different industries will focus on different business processes. I could say supply chain management. And if you are in manufacturing, supply chain management means one thing for you. If you are in retail, it means something else. So it's almost the same process, but understood and worked differently. That's why we build industry solutions to enable you to manage your business process differently in a unique way, so you can gain efficiencies within your business. And the last dimension, the last layer, if you wish, partnerships that Adrian was talking about. So partners, we talked about Commerce IQ this morning, Digital Shelf Analytics, that's the capability they bring in, to complement and to sit on top. We also looked into other partners that we have in the ecosystem and the expertise that they build on top with products and services on top of the core. So always think there's a core, which is a multi-domain MDM solution, or you can call it platform if you want, as you build and you grow with it. But then you build things on top and you expand your ability to enable use cases. So that's the center of that value chain. So in summary, you can manage your data, single domain, one type, or multi-domain. You build trusted sustainability data. You do it based on use cases that are relevant to your industry, and then you add customization through partner solutions and services. But then there's the last stage in this data supply chain, which is sharing data, which is absolutely important and where the biggest value creation sits, because that's when you can get creative with your use cases, either analytical use cases, operational, or commercial. So our solutions will simply ensure that the data is organized, classified, in a way that it can easily be shared and syndicated. So just for a moment, think about a concept of sharing data as a service. What does that mean? Sharing data on the cloud as a service, so you don't have any needs to do any copies. You don't have any needs to do any back-end databases or even exports. Data as a service, we got that. So if you want to learn more, we'll be showing it here. Think about sharing product data, product content. You just heard Neda and Soren talk about PXM, We got that. So sharing is absolutely important to any type of use cases and applications that you have. And that's where we close the loop into that value creation. And it all needs to be supported by the most modern, advanced technologies. So it all starts with the cloud, easy consumption, easy deployment, based on the Azure platform. We all heard about that. It's underpinned by AI and ML. There's a lot of functionality already built into the core and into the layers around AI. And yeah, you need peace of mind. So we also work in getting the certifications that are most relevant in the market to make sure that you know you're working with a trusted partner. And this is how we create value for you. That's our value story, customer value at the center of everything we do.